How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Why We Love Horror. This is episode 52. We've been doing this for a whole year, guys. I'm Maher,
Happy
and
anniversary.
Abby Brooks and Aaron Brooks. How you guys feeling doing this for a year, or just us guys doing it for a year?
That's crazy that it's been a year, and it's been a lot of fun. We've seen some good movies and some bad and some that are fine.
Yeah, happy anniversary. I didn't get anybody anything, but
Right.
I am really excited to see the trailer for this movie.
Last time.
a rarity that people have seen the trailer for Speak No Evil.
This is my husband, Ben.
Patrick Feld, this is my wife, Kira.
This is Agnes.
Has some trouble communicating. He can be a bit insecure.
Nice Vespa. Yeah.
You know what I don't like? Having to ignore a trailer for months and months and months, which is not what I could do with the Speak No Evil trailer. We've all seen it plenty, so we're going to skip the trailer and get right into Speak No Evil, I should say. Yeah, John, take it away.
For those of you that don't know what this movie is about, having not seen the Danish original movie, I'll just do a synopsis. One couple with a child meets another couple with a child while on vacation, and they hit it off. And the more local couple invites the main character's couple over to their remote house for like a weekend of fun, and then things just get real weird real quick. And that is both versions of Speak No Evil, whichever one we're talking about. But we're talking about the 2024 one with James McAvoy doing incredible things with his mouth the entire time. What'd you guys think about this version of Speak No Evil?
So the first thing is it's not a bad movie. Even through the months of seeing this trailer, and all three of us have seen the original Speak No Evil. We've seen it like for a while. When I first saw the trailer, I thought this looked terrible. Like really bad. I thought they gave away everything in the trailer. I was really worried about it. And then when I saw that it was Blumhouse, I was like, this is going to be awful. And it's not. I think it's difficult to compare this to the original movie because I think it's a completely different movie. Not in plot wise, but like just like in tone wise. And I think what their goals were with the story that they were trying to tell. I think this director took the story from the original and just kind of made it just it just feels very different with this more comedic, lighthearted tone that they take with it, which I think kind of worked, sort of.
Aaron?
Well, I'm not here alone this week, so at least some of us really, really like this movie. And yeah, I mean, I guess going into this movie, I was expecting horrific things. I was expecting Exorcist the Believer levels of bad, which we decided not to do. It was that bad. But too bad the rants weren't a thing back then, because that video would have been great for me. Not to pat myself on the back, but back to Speak No Evil. I loved the original. I really did. I didn't have much of an issue with any part of the movie, and the ending, especially to me, I think made the movie. I felt like it was absolutely brutal and hammered home all of the points that kind of were going through the whole movie, which weren't that hard of points to pick up. I'm not saying like, oh man, but so I anticipated with this one, it probably was going to miss the points of the original. And, like from what I saw, I watched these trailers because I didn't really want to see this movie, but I had to see this movie. But still, I watched this trailer plenty of times. And the second trailer particularly really spells out what's to come. And yeah, I mean, it's an Americanized version of a very good Danish, movie where the same director didn't direct the American remake here. So we didn't have a Haneke situation, but James Watkins, really great at times. Eden Lake, I'm looking at you. So I had some hopes, but at the same point, like early on, these two movies, I think, differentiate themselves quite, widely to where I'm just like, they could just call this movie Not Speak No Evil, but
yeah, they should have just given it a different title. I mean, I'm on such a roller coaster with this movie from the announcement to like right now. Whenever I think about it, because it's like they're remaking Speak No Evil. Why? It's like it's a Blumhouse movie. Oh shit! James Watkins is attached to direct.
Mackenzie Davis.
Mackenzie Davis in it. James McAvoy's in it. Cool. All right. You see the first trailer, like, all right, they're remaking this movie. Then the second trailer hits, like, why the fuck does she have a box cutter? What the fuck is going on? You know, and then like, then you go in knowing, and all the reviews like, holy shit, this is great. Like all these fucking people who probably hadn't seen the original, like just going nuts, like busting nuts over this movie. And then there were a few like later reviews were like, that's all right. And then when I saw those reviews coming in, I'm like, God damn it. Blumhouse is gonna fucking kill this one too. Like Blumhouse can't do anything right. I was sitting through the movie, I was like, this is not bad. This is not bad. And then it dawned on me that like I'm sitting in this movie theater like in Pennsylvania, in America. I'm like, they fucking made this movie for me. This is what they think I fucking want. Like that pisses me off. And I have all these roller coaster emotions about this movie.
Yes.
Yeah, let me throw up spoilers. Because I mean, and I did ultimately like it, but like the more I think about it, like I feel like I have multiple personalities because like I'm so angry at this movie, but it was not bad at all. So it's like it's really crazy. But let's get into like what works. Okay, let's go with what works in this movie. What does work? I'll start. James McAvoy works. Go ahead, guys. What else works?
Yeah, that's the obvious one. I think from the announcement, that was the one thing when I first heard about this movie that I was like, okay, like I like James McAvoy a lot. So it could be good with him in it. And yeah, that's the one that everybody is saying. Like he is really great. I did like the tone of this movie. I think that is a positive. I like that it was lighthearted. There were some moments that were actually kind of funny. Particularly, I mean, we've seen it in the trailer, but like I thought the Cotton Eye Joe scene was funny, mainly because of James McAvoy and just his reactions to this child and the dancing and how it just kind of escalates. I thought it was funnier rather than like, I don't know what they were trying to do, honestly, but I liked that. And I think that was a positive. One of the bigger positives.
Yeah, I think some of the humor comes from the exposure of the trailer. So like these moments are coming up and you're like, oh, that moment that we've seen as A-list members 700 times now. So I'm not sure, like, because I think at times when this movie did try to be funny and like almost break the fourth wall, I was like, no, don't do that. Have it be the awkward. So I think it's getting some humor as of the time of the video or of like us watching this maybe, but I don't know. I'm not trying to yuck anybody's yum. For me, like this movie was it was fine. It was a movie I have absolutely no urge to rewatch, like at all. I think rewatching this movie would be a grave error for a lot of people who aren't sure if they like this movie or didn't like it and they're in a happy spot. I'd say stay in that spot because if you revisit this movie, I don't think it's that strong. To me, the best parts of the movie are the parts that are nearly a cover version of the first movie. So the first two acts are really good in this movie, because they are very similar to the first or the original, I should say, just a little more fleshed out. So that would maybe be a positive and improvement, if anything. What they do with it in the third act, I am beyond not a fan of. And it's just, like we'll get to that when we get to that. But I felt like the whole cast, not the kids sucked, terrible kids. We have great kid acting in things like Old. And then we have kid acting like in this. So, they can't all be winners. Both kids were annoying, like not purposely annoying, just annoying as characters. I didn't like them.
But she has anxiety.
I got it. Flop. And also, the bunny being a character. We're not to the negatives yet. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm done with my positives, needless to say.
I'll say exactly. Yeah, I did have a few issues with the original, and this is what else is about this movie. I had a few issues with the original. It was like they heard what my issues were with the original, fixed all of those things, like fleshed out all the characters, made me like really interested in the characters, especially the Halt and Catch Fire crew of Scoot McNairy and Mackenzie Davis getting together again. Their whole backstory was really fleshed out and interesting. And then it kind of steamrolls you into the reverse Eden Lake ending. You attach James Watkins, you tease me like, oh, he's gonna fucking ruin lives, and then he doesn't. He doesn't. James, what's up, dude? This is not what we hired you for. I don't. Blumhouse, fuck you, Jason Blum. How dare you? Let's get to the negatives. Hoppy is bigger than Ninos, I guess. Hoppy is the shit in this movie.
They really wanted you to pay attention to that rabbit. Like they really did. And they do the same thing with it. It's like they didn't do anything different. They still have to drive back for the stupid rabbit, but they really like wanted you to know about this rabbit like throughout the whole, like they're really leading up to this whole thing where they have to drive back.
That little girl could have driven them back since she was 16 by then. That trip. So I'm not a parent yet. Spoiler alert to everybody out there, not a parent yet. I know you're not supposed to be like, you're a little old for this, but like she was really old. Like she was very, very old. Like if she was on the old beach, she could have played the younger and the older kid because of that range there. So like, again, no offense. I'm not going to try and attack young actresses here, but yeah, floppy.
Yeah, I guess that brings us to like, the main issue I personally have with it is like, why did they have to sanitize this movie? Like the ending of the original is like bleak and gritty and hopeless. And in this movie, it's like, well, we can't have these very closed circuit human traffickers win. We can't have the closed circuit human traffickers win. They have to die, which is basically the major divergence between these movies. In the Danish version, the bad guys win. In the English version, American version, the good guys win. So whatever you want, you can have your pick. You can choose your own adventure. like do you stand up and fight, or do you just let people cut your kid's tongue out and stone you to death? Whatever you want, you choose.
Yeah, and I think like that's where I feel conflicted because again, like my least favorite part of this movie was the ending as well, because I think like I'm not in love with the original Speak No Evil, but I do love the ending of that movie because I think like they really went for it. In this one, the ending, I didn't like it, but it kind of made sense, I feel, with like whatever their goals were for this movie. Again, it was more of a lighthearted movie. Again, I don't agree with why they did it, but like that's where I'm like conflicted about it. Like it kind of makes sense, but it was a Blumhouse ending. It was just like a cat and mouse chase. And it feel like it went on for a really long time too.
A long ass time.
And again, like I think so there was a moment where you think that the good couple is getting away, but the child, the boy child is still back there, and you see James McAvoy throw him into this lake. And I was like, oh, are they gonna like drown this? Well, I don't advocate for child drowning, but like, are they gonna do this?
I don't know. If you're a fan of the original, I think you are an advocate of child drowning. I just want to put that out there.
Sorry. But I thought they were going to go for it when I saw them do that, but they don't. And then there's this really long drawn out like chase thing. And then, like you said, the bad guys lose, the good guys win, and then the movie ends. And like, this ending isn't like offensive or anything like that. There have been other like Blumhouse remakes of foreign movies where it's just offensive to me. Like it's really, for example, The Martyrs. Like it's nothing like that where the American remake completely misses the point. I don't think there was that much of a point to make in the original one, except to just be extremely bleak. So again, that's why it's not offensive to me. But again, it is the worst part of the movie.
Yeah, I'll say at least like the point of the movie is the same. It's like, where do you stop being polite? Pretty much is the point of both movies.
Right.
But go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah, that's all really, really nice polishing up of your feelings there, and that's good. Scoot McNairy was not great to me in this movie. I know that you love Halt, Catch, and Fire, you and the other 12 people who watch that show. I'm really happy for you guys. I've heard it's great. No, I'm not going to watch it. But I did
it's
not.
Mad Men. It's Mad Men in the Silicon Valley era. Let's
I
go.
heard.
Go watch Halt and Catch Fire.
Yeah, people hardly watch Mad Men too, but like people really. Anyways, Scoot McNairy, I didn't like his character, and his moment on the ladder was the most annoying part of the movie, where he drops down. What was that? 35 feet or so?
Probably less.
25 feet.
Yeah, sure.
That was an awfully okay. That's a 2-story house. So
but he hang dropped. He hang dropped. He fell like 15 feet tall.
So he fell 15 to 20 feet directly onto his knee. Definitely at least a contusion that would at least hurt. But this dude is ready to toughen it out. Does his horror stand up of the ladder. That ladder's heavy, by the way. You need some good stability there to stand that up. But whatever, that 15 to 20 foot ladder stands it up, no problem. I think at that point, what's her name? The stop motion actress's name?
Evelyn Franziosi.
Yeah. So she, I guess, is like a young wife of James McAvoy.
Yeah.
That didn't really track since James McAvoy and her look about the same age. I get they're not, since James McAvoy is approaching like 55 probably or something. But James looks great. So like he doesn't. So again, apparently that's his like young wife, and she dies, and then he's like, all right, daughter, 12 to 16-year-old daughter, who loves floppy, you're my new wife. So they like throw that in at the end. They're like, this is like Don't Breathe. We're gonna have like our big shocking, like, oh, look at how awful. And
now he's gotta die in a
right.
Blumhouse
And
movie.
now
you don't look at children that way in a Blumhouse movie and survive.
No, you don't twist your mustache that much. Or else I'm really gonna have to do something. Some comeuppance is coming your way. It's the American way. But yeah, so it's like that scene goes on for a long time, and that's a long time to not feel worried about a lot of characters, except Scoot McNairy, who was positive was going to die, and he doesn't die. Fuck you, movie.
You can't kill Scoot. Come on.
Yeah, I was fully expecting mother daughter to get away and Scoot to stay behind and die. He doesn't even die. It's just good guys win, bad guys lose.
Even weird tongueless Danish boy lives. He lives to ants.
Of course he does.
Well, and then he gets his moment in the end too.
Like sings and like, oh yeah, go ahead.
Well, I mean, like, and I don't know if this was a callback to the original when he just bashes James McAvoy's face in with a rock or a stone, if you will. And like even that moment, I feel like could have been elevated a little bit more, especially with the Eden Lake director.
Make it brutal.
They show like a split second of
it's
like
Blumhouse. Like
Blumhouse
like a movie. Come on, give this to Magnet. Magnet should have done this movie.
Yeah.
God forbid they show.
It's just one split second of James McAvoy's bloodied face, and then the kid wins also. Which again, like I think I agree. I mean, even if one of the couple didn't make it, I mean, I was hoping for everybody to just not make it. I didn't even need them to get like rocks thrown at them at the end. I just needed like some type of like, oh, they don't win, and then James McAvoy and his wife end up going on to the next family type of thing. I didn't even need it to be like that controversial or crazy. And this movie was rated R too, so I don't know why they couldn't have done something like that, even with Blumhouse. Like I'm
thinking it's because of Blumhouse. I'm thinking it's like it would have been such a stark contrast to like.
And why call it Speak No Evil? The entire fucking crowd. The only people there who know it's Speak No Evil are people like us who are going to be pissed off by that, or at least distracted by that at the minimum. And then the rest of the people don't even know there's another one. And they're never going to know there's another one. No, they're not going to seek out the Danish one. Shut up.
I think they might.
No, they won't. Bullshit. That's not.
They should have called this movie.
How dumb idiots who are eating fistfuls of popcorn and laughing at this movie. They're not going to go and say, let's watch the Danish one. No, they can't even spell Danish. They don't even eat Danishes because they're afraid of foreigners. Anyways, Aaron rant done.
I was like, they should have just called this movie Gas Terran. That would have been a good name for this movie. That being said, let me drop these banners back. Let's move on to them. All right. I know where we all stand, so I think we'll start with Abby today. Abby, how do you think of this movie overall?
Yeah, so I mean, again, like I didn't hate this movie. I thought this movie was good, fine. I would watch it again, maybe after some time has passed. Again, probably because I don't like hold the original one to this like super high standard. I think that one was also good. I think I rated these both the same, actually. This one I'm also giving a 3.5.
All right, I'll break it up. I'll go second, and we'll do a little. We'll tease the audience a little bit. I'm probably the most positive on this movie. I did give the original 4 out of 5, and basically it wasn't a 5-star movie because the characters weren't really fleshed out. But in this movie, they do flesh the characters out, but then they really drive it home that I'm a stupid American. So it all comes together and cancels each other out. We're still dealing with a 4 out of 5 movie, and mostly just because like I don't like the way this movie looks at me. It looks at me weird, and that's how I feel. Aaron?
Yeah, so this was not as bad as I was expecting it to be. In no way do I think Speak No Evil is a perfect movie. I think it's got a pretty damn perfect ending, though. And when you're going to completely change the ending, to me, you should just change the name of the movie, too. They didn't. And I was able to separate that. I had a good enough time. I never want to watch this movie again. If I do, my rating will go down, I promise you. It's at a 3. This is an absolute highest of high ratings it could be. It's a solid single of a movie. It got over the shortstop into left field and runners on first base. So,
all right, let's go Blumhouse.
Best Blumhouse of the year by far.
Yeah. And, moving on to what we always do. It is the Why We Love Horror Challenge. That's the website screenshot. You're not joining us this late in the year. Anyway, Why We Love Horror Challenge this week. I believe, are we on week 33 or something? We're deep in. It's like, maybe it's 38. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's 37.
37. Yeah, well, I'm going to look that up while I think about it. But we're deep in. It's watch a supernatural horror movie this week. And we ended on Aaron, so we'll start with Aaron.
Yeah, so the one good thing that came out of Beetlejuice, besides my rant, was there was a mention in the movie of a Mario Bava movie that I hadn't really heard a ton about, but I suddenly was interested in. Kill Baby Kill, whatever, Lydia Dietz's husband's favorite movie, Kill Baby Kill, spoiler alert for Beetlejuice. This was like a very weird Bava movie. It was definitely not a lot of kills in the movie. It was much more kind of the gothic atmosphere and vibes, if you will. And believe it or not, the third act just kind of ends. And it really is like...
Feels like a Bava film, then, I imagine.
So it was made by Bava. But yeah, this one was not my favorite movie of all time. And I'm kind of judging Lydia's husband for it being his. I think he might have lied to get with Lydia.
All right, I'll go next since I went second the last time. I watched a movie that I guess is for horror fans nowadays. It's a blind spot for me that I haven't seen it yet. And I've heard everybody who's seen this movie loves this movie, and I'm in the middle of watching it. It's great so far. Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. I expect to give it high marks. I know at least Abby loves it. I think Aaron loves it too. Abby, what'd you watch?
So I also watched an Italian horror. But it was directed by Lamberto Bava, which I did have to look it up. It's Mario Bava's son. I watched Demons, which I really liked a lot. It is very 80s, and it also feels very Italian horror-ish. Maybe not like too much. There's like little things in it that reminds me of it, but I did really like this one. I thought it was very good, and I'd recommend it.
Yeah, Demons, I love the fact that it's like in the last 20 minutes just keeps topping itself. It's like, what? Helicopter. All right, I'm down. All right.
Yep.
All right, that being said, that'll bring us to the end of the show this week. But if you do me a favor, go over to thefaceofhorror.org/2024/John-Moore. That's where you can vote for me. I'd appreciate your votes. Maybe we'll do it this year. I don't know. Maybe we'll hit the mainstream. But if you can do that, go over there and vote. If you made it this far in the video, though, like, comment, subscribe, share, go to the Facebook group, Why We Love Horror, join that, join the conversation. Go to the TikTok at WWL Horror. And the schedule here is always the same. Monday is versus Tuesday, Horror Headlines Live. Wednesday, we're doing special editions of the 2 flagship shows. Thursday, you're watching it. Speak No Evil. I think next week we'll probably do The Substance, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
And then Friday, Why We Love Horror Trivia, either 2 episodes or 1 championship episode. Thank you for stopping by. I'm John Maher. That's Abby Brooks, and that's Aaron Brooks. And we'll see you next week on Why We Love Horror.